The Birth of an Ice Dragon by John Cronshaw. Read by John Cronshaw. Justa broke free from her cocoon and fell limp onto the warm stone. Ice peeled along her spine as she breathed and stretched. She listened to the drip, drip, dripping of distant liquid and smelled gold and tin and iron and 5 types of stone. Her outer eyelids twitched, still frozen shut. Reaching out, she sensed a mind, the mind of a Lalaun, clean, slippery, wide. But Justa was too weak. She was too tired. So she slept. The Lalaun's mind pricked against the edges of her awareness. Pangs of hunger forced her to move. She unfurled her heavy wings. Their surface cracked as chunks of ice cascaded to the warm stone. She licked the water pooling beneath her and reached for the Lalaun's mind, still slippery, but cleaner and wider than before. Justa uncurled her claws and pulled them along the warm stone, scraping them, sharpening them. She closed her mind and slept. Justa smelled life as she awoke. She reached for the Lalaun again. She sensed the mind, taut and wide and open and clean. Silently, she called to him. She waited. The Lalaun was close. She reached for him, and again she called to him. After a while, he brought a gas in a container made from dead trees. The grass crunched as it froze in Justa's mouth. The Lalaun shivered, his teeth chattering. Justa reached for his mind and found he was not afraid. His mind was wide and wide and wide. Without words, he told her he was cold. She spread her icy wings and asked the Lalaun why. The Lalaun said it was because he was cold. The stones were warm under Justa's belly, so she drew the Lalaun close and close. He shivered more and more. She smelled his blood and fear. His mind told her he was colder than before. Perhaps she could kiss life into him like a mother had for her. Perhaps she could make him a cocoon. Then he would become more. Then he wouldn't be cold. She placed her mouth on his and breathed. The Lalaun cried out with his voice and his mind. She breathed into him, filling him with the life kiss until he stopped crying out. She made a cocoon for the Lalaun. She knew he would become more like her. She reached out. His mind was thin, stretched, liquid. Then something snapped. Justa reached and reached and reached and reached, but the Lalaun was gone. Thank you. That story was called The Birth of an Ice Dragon. If you enjoyed that, please hit like, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. I do have novels, fantasy novels, so check those out. There's the Ravenglass Chronicles. You can check that out now. And if you go to johncronshaw.com, that's JONCRONSHAW, you'll be able to get your free copy of Birth of Assassins. So until next time, cheerio.